Hi, everyone, and welcome back to LL Sports TV. Hope you're all doing well. Just a quick post match thoughts on Arsenal's game against Brentford at the Emirates, which ended Arsenal 2, Brentford nil. Now, the victory over Brentford was a result that saw Arsenal restore their 5 point cushion at the top of the Premier League table and was very welcome, given that Arsenal had essentially dropped points against Chelsea at the weekend. Now, the team for the game against Brentford, including some significant changes. Mikel Arteta, the manager, resting key players like Bukayo Saka, Eberechi Eze, and Jurrien Timber ahead of what is a busy December schedule. In came Noni Madueke on the right, Martin Odegaard through the middle, and Ben White at right back. To the game itself, then, Arsenal started the game very well. They were purposeful, they were energetic, they looked sharper, and in the 10th minute, they scored their opening goal. That man, Mikel Merino, continued his excellent form, scoring a really, really good header from an exquisite Ben White cross down the right-hand side. Got to say that Mikel Merino, his influence as an advanced attacking midfielder stroke forward was immense throughout the game. And I've got to say as well, the right flank partnership featuring Ben White and Noni Madueke was also working very well. And that unfamiliar pairing of Ben White at right back and Noni Madueke on the right wing immediately clicked and, as I said, combined skillfully to create the opening goal. Madueke's run, a little clever back heel, as I said, a lovely overlapping run followed by a really nice cross. Mikel Merino, lovely header, headed it straight into the ground. Excellent technique, beating the goalkeeper. After the goal, Arsenal continued to dominate possession, looked the sharper, looked the better side, but couldn't break Brentford down as easily as we would have liked. They did actually have a few chances, which they didn't take. And at the end of the first half, I remember commenting to one of the guys on the AFTV stream that we were doing. I was saying, I just hope that those missed opportunities don't come back to bite Arsenal in the bum, essentially. But yeah, good first half. In the second half, though, Brentford did come out a little better. They showed a little bit more ambition. I mean, I thought the Brentford manager, Keith Andrews, in the first half especially, he employed a very cautious approach. He also had a pretty heavily rotated team. A lot of their big hitters were missing for this game. Jordan Henderson, Thiago, and one or two others were rotated on the bench. And Brentford, for pretty much all of the first half, sat really deep. In the second half, as I said, I thought they showed a bit more ambition. But I would also say that their defence, they had a 5-man defence. And I do think that their defence was compact and effective. And in the second half, they were limiting Arsenal mostly to block shots and long-range efforts. With regards to Brentford going forward, though, even though they showed a bit more ambition, they wasn't really creating anything substantial. In fact, I think I saw a stat where I don't think they had a shot on target for the whole game. But they were a little bit dangerous, I would say, from set pieces, which is what we would come to expect from Brentford. Their manager, Keith Andrews, is a noted set-piece coach, and they've relied heavily on set pieces this season. And they did create some concern for Arsenal with set pieces, mainly the long throws from their guard, Coyote, who I'm told is he propels the ball longer than anyone else in terms of throw-ins in the Premier League at the moment. So their main danger came from set pieces, namely long throws and corners. There was a Brentford corner that did cause Arsenal a lot of problems. Kevin Schade rose to meet the cross, and the goalkeeper, Arsenal's goalkeeper, David Raya, was required to make a very, very good save. At that time, it would have been a match-preserving save. He tipped the header onto the crossbar. So they were dangerous, but they weren't creating that much. But with Arsenal not getting the second goal, the game became nervier in the second half. And at that point, I think Mikel Arteta must have thought, right, I need to bring on some heavy hitters. And he made some substitutions. On came Bukayo Saka and Eberechi Eze. To me, that immediately energised the team. It increased the pace and the directness of Arsenal's attack. And in the 90th minute, quite late, Mikel Merino put a lovely ball through, an inch-perfect ball through to Saka. Saka had a run and a shot, which I've got to say, the goalkeeper fumbled and assisted it into the net. The goalkeeper, I think it's Keller, former Liverpool keeper. But anyway, that that did put things to rest. Arsenal went 2-0 ahead and secured the points and alleviated any anxiety that might have remained in the stadium at that point. So yeah, it was a good win for Arsenal. I think the only concerning aspect of the victory was, I regret to say, the deepening defensive injury crisis that Arsenal appear to be having at the moment. Christian Mosquera was forced to come off in the second half, which looks like an injury. Now, the potential loss of Mosquera will force Arteta to sweat over his defensive options for the upcoming trip to Aston Villa, which is likely to be a very, very difficult game, and where defensive stability will be paramount. So yeah, that is a bit of a concern. Obviously, William Saliba and Gabriel, our first choice centre-backs, are both out at the moment. There is talk that William Saliba could be back for the game against Aston Villa on Saturday. Let's hope so. Gabriel obviously will be out for a bit longer, but Mosquera, who came in for Saliba and looked good tonight, is a doubtful for the game against Villa, which is a shame. I thought Nketiah, though, fair play to him on the left-hand side of the centre-backs. I thought he had a really good game today. He looked good, looked strong, looked quick, looked sharp. So I'm pleased with his contribution. But if Mosquera is forced to miss that game, that will be a blow. I'm not sure how the manager will deal with that. Will he put Jurrien Timber in there as he did tonight, or will Ben White go to right back, or will there be another solution? But yeah, it remains to be seen what happens there. But in conclusion, Arsenal win the game fairly comfortably in the end, although there were some pretty nervous moments. It's always like that when you're 1-0 up with a few minutes to go. You never know what could happen, especially a team like Brentford, good on the counter-attack, good at set pieces. They could just easily go down the other end and you never know what's going to happen next. But I thought Arsenal coped with Brentford well. They deservedly won the game. And yeah, they get the 3 points. And like I said earlier, restore that 5-point cushion, which is so important. In conclusion, I would say that this is one of those performances which is kind of quintessential for genuine title contenders, which obviously Arsenal are. And the reason why I say that is that Arsenal demonstrated tonight that they can win without being at their very best against a stubborn opponent. The win, the other plus point about the win tonight is that it shows that Arsenal do have the necessary squad depth and rotation, and players are able to come in and still produce levels enough to beat another Premier League team. So that was good. Another plus point, another clean sheet for Arsenal, which is especially creditable given, as I said previously, the injury crisis that Arsenal appear to be having at the moment. So yeah, it's a good night. Wasn't the best performance. It wasn't Arsenal's best performance by any stretch of the imagination, but they were fairly comfortable. As I said, Brentford did not have a shot on target in the whole game, so I think that tells its own story. And the victory restores calm for Arsenal at the top of the league after Man City's win, their high-scoring win against Fulham the day before, 5-4. So yeah, Chelsea lost. So it's been a fairly good night for Arsenal, and it also proves that Arsenal can grind out results when required and go back to the top of the table, having dropped points in their previous game. So yeah, congratulations to Arsenal. They go again this weekend, this Saturday, against high-flying Villa. Villa had a good win tonight. They came from 2-0 down to beat Brighton away from home 4-3. So that's a very, very good performance by them. And they will be looking forward to the arrival of Arsenal on Saturday. That will be a great game. That will be a very tense game. There's a lot on the line. Villa, with their win, have now moved into third place. So they'll be having title contender aspirations of their own. So it promises to be a great game. Arsenal, like I said, do have a few injuries, but we'll go into the game in good heart. Can't wait for the game. So yeah, well done, Arsenal. Look forward to seeing the game against Villa this weekend. That's all from me, guys. Thanks so much for watching LL Sports TV. Really appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, and subscribe. Catch you on the next one. I'm out.